Okay, cool. So right here, first thing, Jacob from your team emails me this morning and wanted to see what I was going to talk about in the
I
open
like
class
this.
segment. And so the first thing, we'll get into how I set this up, but the first thing is I tag my assistant, who I call Awa. And Awa goes and actually creates a document of the use cases that we had been having a conversation through Telegram, and creates this doc and sends it to Jacob. So that was just like a fun example I wanted to kick this off with.
And did you ask
And
AWA to do
then
that?
let me
Did you
get
ask
in.
AWA to create the document and ship it?
Yes. So Awa is connected or filters, through my email, and then sends an email to me, or sends a message through Telegram saying, Jacob wants to see the use cases. I'm talking to Awa saying, talk about create a document, and send it back, for use cases that we implemented. And so it's created this doc, and I can pull up the
Hmm.
doc later to show, but this was just like done in 5 minutes, right, from when Jacob reached out to me.
Got it. And so it's like
So
having an assistant. It's like having a chief of staff.
yeah,
Boom, you got the document up and running. And then what did you do next?
exactly. And so these are some other ones that are pretty useful. So um, I'm in diligence, right, with launch, raising a round, and one of the questions is, in the diligence questionnaire is like, can we talk to some users or customers of your products, right? And so one thing I did was talk to Awa. I was like, Awa, do you have access to my Postdog? I couldn't remember if I had connected it. Postdog is an analytics platform, and it's connected to all my apps and can see usage over time and get into the nitty gritty with, active users, etc. And so I am talking to Awa here, and I ask it to pull my active users for Tempo, one of the products, that we have here at the Wellness Company. And so Awa goes through, uses Posthog, filters through the project, which is for Tempo specifically, and then gives me a list of the users. And then I asked it to create it, into a Google spreadsheet. And then from there, not screenshotted here, I had Awa go out and send an email to the users that I specified,
Hmm.
asking if I can use them as a reference. And so this was like done in 5 minutes, basically. But
Wow.
it
So
was,
this is a multi-step task. It requires intelligence. If you were to ask ChatGPT, or Gemini or just any language model to do something like this, they would say, well, we don't have access, so therefore we shut it down. If you use OpenClaw and you authenticate, it not only will go in there and get the data, it's going to think of what other steps you want it to take. And it can go out and then connect it to your Gmail. So for people who are new to the OpenClaw revolution here, or the agentic revolution, LLMs have gotten really smart, but they have been powerless. They've been sandboxed. They've been kept essentially in a corner. We basically took AI and we put it in a little closet. Now you let the AI out of the dungeon and you say, here's the keys to the kingdom. I want to trust you to go do things. And it goes and it does things. And that means you can run your business a lot faster. This is somebody who you would have had to pay essentially, if it was a mid-tier employee, $40 an hour, $80,000 a year, $70,000 a year, to have somebody who's capable of doing this. Correct, Presh?
yeah, yeah, you would have someone who could, you've asked this question when I used to work for some context. I used to work for Jason. You would be like, pull up the last 10 companies that we invested in that are consumer businesses or something, right?
Yeah.
And so I would go and go through our Notion and
Yeah.
spend five
That
ten
was
minutes, whatever
literally,
the fuck.
you were that guy. You were the 30,
Yeah,
$40 an hour guy who would go do knowledge work tasks. That Presh job from 5 years ago is now going to be replaced, I think you would agree, with an open claw replicant.
yeah, exactly.
Running a startup means you've got to manage dozens to hundreds of devices. Every employee at my company has a work phone, they have a laptop, maybe they have a tablet in some cases or a desktop. You could pay for an entire IT team to manage your software updates, security patches, and policing everyone's password in software. Or you could sign up with our new partner, Eru. IRU, ERU, and get enterprise grade security at a startup friendly price. ERU turns small IT teams into force multipliers, and they're going to automate your onboarding, patching, and compliance, whether you're on a Mac, Windows, or Android. Set your policies once and then trust that they're going to be enforced perfectly, flawlessly, deftly. And if you have an issue, support's going to respond in minutes, not days. ERU does it right. And one ERU customer told us they run their entire ID department with just 2 staffers. This is an at-scale company. So stop spending time on device management and worrying that you may get hacked or have problems, and start spending it on projects that grow your business, new features, new products, new services. Book a demo at iru.com. That's IRU.com. What a great domain name. IRU.com.